Hey guys, quick video. Just gonna give you another Beth Avenue story. Gonna get off that topic of yesterday. That was very hard to tell, but today's a new day. Moving forward, I want to talk about back in the day when I was a kid, going out with some of my friends. Now, Gerald Bellafiore was a funny character, and so was William Galloway. They were two of my friends that I really had a lot of good, funny times with, besides having some good times with my other friends from Beth Avenue. But these two guys in particular were very funny at times. Going out with them, I had hilarious stories with them. So when I met Gerald Bellafiore, William Galloway introduced me to him. I used to rob banks with him, and I introduced him to guns. So when he started hanging out with me, he was also carrying a gun. So there was a club, a bar called The Wrong Number. It was located in Brooklyn. It was located on Avenue T and West 7th Street. This is one in particular bar in the neighborhood. It was located in Gravesend. Now, this bar was owned by a wise guy called Baldy. That was his nickname, Baldy. So Baldy was a wise guy that owned the bar, and he always wanted to make sure nothing crazy went on in his bar. So I go there one night with Gerald Bellafiore and William Galloway. William loved to drink. He was a drinker. He would drink. He would sip the last cup of whatever I was sipping. He would make sure nothing went to waste. That's how funny he was. Gerard got a little drunk, and he would get a little rowdy too sometimes. So he had a pistol on him this night. I always had a pistol on me. And he would also DJ. So he was the type of guy who would walk over to the DJ and he would start spinning and start mixing and stuff like that. And he would really get into it and go crazy crazy and get into all kinds of disco music and stuff like that. But he was really good at what he did. At the end of the night, we would leave the bar. They were both drunk. When I went out, I really never got drunk. I had maybe one or two drinks. I always made sure I knew my surroundings, and I was always careful of what was going on around me. So this night, Gerard pulls out a pistol. As we leave the bar, we get into his fancy car. He always had a fancy car. We get into his car. It's right outside of the bar, and he starts plucking shots up in the air. Pop, pop, pop. I go, Gerard, what the fuck you doing? He said, what are you, stupid? He goes, don't worry. He says, you're with me now. I said, I'm with you now. It was the most funniest thing that happened. I'm with him now. So the guy Baldy knew me, who I was, because I was around Sparrow, Joe Benanti, Beth Avenue. So the next day, Joe Benanti tells me that Baldy came to the club and was telling Sparrow that I had a gun and I threw some shots in the air. I explained to Joe Benanti and Sparrow that it wasn't me. Actually, it was a friend of mine. So we had to have a sit down over that. And I told Gerard, you got to come forward and you got to admit it. So I call him along. Joe Benanti talks to Gerard. Gerard hands Joe Benanti $5,000. That helped me right away, because with these guys, you hand them money and right away they're like, wow, okay, nice, thank you. You know what? Okay, you were right. So We squashed that sit down. Joe Benanti went to go talk to Baldy. It'll never happen again. And that's what money does along the way in the street. Moving forward, at this time, Gerald Bellafiore and Willie obviously was on record with me now. They were my friends, and every time they did a score, they would also give me a couple dollars. There's this one particular kid, his name was Vinny Gork. Vinny Gork was a bank robber. He lived between Bath Avenue and Cropsey Avenue on 24th Avenue. Gerard tells me one day that Vinny Gork robbed a bank the night before, and he got off with maybe $140,000. I tell Paulie G. Paulie G and me start scheming on the kid Vinny Gork. I get Fabrizio. At this time, Fabrizio is just a regular goon. He's a friend of ours, and he's doing things for us. So I tell Fabrizio and the kid Mike Yammine, and the kid Fabrizio and Mike Yammine waits in front of the kid Vinny Gork's house. We come up with a scheme. Let's beat him up. And then he will run to Gerard, and Gerard will run to me, and I'll tell Paulie G, and we'll get some money out of him. That day, Fabrizio and Mike Yammine wait for Vinny Gork in front of his house. Vinny Gork walks out of his house. Fabrizio and Mike Yammine give him a beating of a lifetime. They wire his jaw. They give him a beating that he couldn't forget. He ends up reaching out to Gerald Bellafiore and tells Gerard, you know, these kids, they wait in front of my door. They beat me up. I don't know why they did this. Now, this was all planned out. As he reaches out to Gerald Bellafiore tells him, you know, I could help you. You know, Jimmy's very friendly with Fabrizio and this kid, and Paulie G could obviously help you squash this. At this time, I go to Paulie G, and the scheme comes into plan. We ended up getting $50,000 from Vinny Gork. We sit down with Vinny Gork. He comes to Bay 23rd. We tell him for $50,000, I could make this go away. He hands us $50,000 cash. I bring Fabrizio and the kid Mike Yammine. I said, Fabrizio and Mike, I said, this is Vinny. I said, you know what? Leave him alone. Don't ever touch him anymore. So this was all planned out. We got $50,000 off the kid Vinny Gork. Me and Paulie G got $15,000 a piece out of that. Fabrizio got $10,000, and the kid Mike Yammine got $10,000. So this is what goes on in the neighborhood when guys are making money. You scheme on them. And that's a Bath Avenue story for today. I hope you liked it. There's so much more to come. So many stories of the street, wise guys, and prison stories. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for supporting me. Until next time, I love you guys. Have a good Saturday. It's pretty ugly out there today, but I'll talk to you soon. Bye.